Alright, show you how to true this. This is the base that came off of it. This is a steel, actually this is aluminum, EGW. It was the 0 MOA. This is the one that just came on it. EGW 20 MOA. Tighten down these first two screws, not like 20 inch-pounds like you normally would, but get them pretty wet snug. What I do is I look at the back. If I put a light on here. Yeah, let's see if I can get it. You can see that gap. You can actually push it down. See it moving. That tells me it's not trued. So what I'll do is I'll take this off. I'll put some, I didn't have any wax, so I'm using coconut oil just because I have it already. And then I'll use Play-Doh, and I'll just take another video. I'll show you how to do it. Alright, so now I got Play-Doh in the holes. Front holes are fine because we're still going to screw those in. And then I put some, whatever you want to use. Some people use shoe polish, some people use car wax. I use coconut oil just because I had it in the pantry. It doesn't really matter as long as it, put some grease down so the JB Weld comes off when you're done. And then went ahead and got this mixed. And then what I do is I go ahead and put some Play-Doh in here. Otherwise, when you put it on, instead of it spreading out evenly, it will come up in these holes and make it quite a bit more of a pain. Just a little bit less cleanup work for me. So let's see if I can do this with holding the phone too. So I'll put this on my cardboard. We'll get some of this. Spread this on here. Don't worry if it makes a mess, it's going to come right off. Anyway, the last one I didn't put near enough on there, so I'm going to make sure I put quite a bit on this one. That should be good. Kind of get this somewhat spread flat. Usually you can use a popsicle stick, but I didn't have one, so I had to cut one off the corn dog. The more I can get this actually down in there, the less bubbles it's going to have, and save me a lot of cleanup. Alright, so that's pretty decent. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, it sticks up quite a bit, so that should be fine. So here's your wax here. So what I'm going to do is take this, and I'm actually going to flip this over and screw in. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this holding the phone. So I'm going to pick that back up here in a second. Alright, haven't got it all the way tight yet. And you can still see, the lighting's horrible, but you can still see it's not touching the receiver yet. I'm going to slowly let it drop. And as I do that, I'm going to screw this down tight. As I do that, you'll see this start oozing out everywhere, all over the place. And so you'll see that Play-Doh popped up quite a bit. And that's why I do that, because it's a pain in the butt to get it out of the middle sections of the rails once it's dry. So now you see, what the heck do I do with all this stuff? It's gonna be coming on the other side too. So what I do is I take some Q-tips, and plenty of them, because you just want to make one pass down through here. So there's that, easy to clean up. And then you'll see it's got quite a bit on it, so you don't want to use that again. So I'll take another pass. Now look in here. So most people don't do this one, but it just bugs me, so I'm gonna do it in here as well. And so I can use the back side. That. And we'll do it on this side too. We'll stick that, move to a new one. This is harder than I thought trying to video this. And then we got some on the back here. So, most important part is this thing. I'm going to let it sit overnight, but before I let it get completely hard, we're going to have these holes here covered up. So what I need to do before that gets completely hard is actually, I take a drill bit, and I had one, yeah, actually here's one from what I did earlier. So this will be the same size, and I'll just lightly by hand drill that out and then go up the other way. Get it on both sides before it completely dries. And it's just hard enough where I can drill it out that it's not going to mess it up, but it's hard enough where I can take these two screws off and pop it up, and then once I get that drilled out, I'm going to put it right back down and let it sit the rest of the night and all day tomorrow. And it'll be plenty hard. So the question is, a lot of people say, well, you know, I didn't buy a cheap base, I bought a high dollar base. Well, you know, this is not a cheap base. This is a EGW, and it's definitely why Savage didn't put a 20 MOA rail to begin with, I don't know, but definitely not a cheap base. I've done it with Weavers, I've done it with Night Force, now I've done it with EGW, and I mean, they're all going to have a little bit of bend and play to it, so that's why I do it. Alright, so now it's been about 15 hours, and let it sit all night. So we'll go ahead and take this off. One of the things I did notice, I gave it about 4 or 5 hours last night, and before I actually took it off where it was still soft. And first time doing a Savage. I've done Remington 700s and a bunch of Rugers, but first time doing a Savage base. And one thing I would recommend, the base here, don't know if you can see it. On a 700, it's pretty smooth, where the receiver here was not. You can kind of see some of the lines in it. It's got some kind of milled marks in there, and almost pushed it a little too long because it started to actually dry inside of there, and almost was stuck. So if you're working on a Savage, I would probably not wait as long, probably go 4 hours, or so anyway, just word of advice. So here we go. Here we got the base. We can kind of see, you know, where it made the contact, and you can see where I took the drill bit out and made sure and got it out of the holes, and the way our screws set in there are good. So now we'll just take a rag, get all this wax off of here. And it's going to be kind of a pain to get out. So I'll take usually an Allen screw or something like that will help. Stick that through and clean that out. This is actually just coconut oil. So ready. Alright, so now I got that all clean. So went ahead and I put some Militech oil on the receiver, and this just keeps it from rusting underneath. I've seen some people put red Loctite on it and JB Weld, and I don't, you know, if I ever want to change the base out, for one, I don't want to take a chance on getting red Loctite down in my receiver, and JB Weld, kind of same thing. So ended up turning out pretty smooth, and so we'll check it out here and we'll see, make sure it lines up. So I've already put just a tad more here. That's probably way too much, but a little bit of blue Loctite on each of the screws. Dab some of that off. We'll drop these in there. Alright, now we got that. I'll grab my bit here. And manufacturer recommendations on this base is actually 20 inch-pounds. That's what we got set. So we'll get this started. Just get a little snug. Somewhat snug, and then what I usually do is go down here, and I'm gonna tighten that one down. That one's good. And I'll go back one. That one's good. Go up here. And found the one on the back. And then just for kicks, I just make sure they're all still good. Factory ones were quite a bit loose after doing that. Of course, I didn't put blue Loctite on it. I knew I'd be changing the base anyway. So, and then we're all done. And then you can see now. Find my flashlight here. You can see it's got a nice flat base, no flex in the rail at all, and you really can't tell we did anything. It's got a little bit of oil seeping out, which is okay. I'm gonna let that dry, and then we'll end up putting our scope on. Somewhere about right there. That's the new Gen 2 Viper PST. So now just getting it out to the range, and actually putting the scope in the rings is a whole nother video, so I'm not even going to go there. There's plenty of them out there, but that's all there is to it. Now to go shoot.